What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're here for episode 44 of our Madden 24 Arizona Cardinals franchise mode, where we are going to just sim through the preseason, coming off an undefeated Super Bowl run. I don't think our roster, our squad, is in a spot to really have positional battles. I'm here. I like positional battles. I like finding those diamonds in the rough as much as the next guy. But I think where our team is at right now, it's just not needed. You know, we don't need to take away from our season opener or anything like that. Let's rock and roll. We know our depth. We know what we have. We feel pretty good. Let's get through this one healthy. However, as the scenarios pop up, we are obviously gonna sit down and talk about them. And what we got right now is our first round pick, Tyson McLean at tackle. And we got big 6'9" there. Who I'm trying to think who it is. Kevin Dotson. Hell yeah! And if you're going left tackle, we're gonna need you to work on your pass protection. You got to keep up Kyler Murray. We can run the football on anybody. As a scheme, Ben Johnson's scheme is outstanding in that regard. So we're gonna work. I wish I knew what we needed to work on more. Pass block power, pass block finesse. I'm going to guess finesse. Could be wrong on that one in terms of scheme fit. We will see. +3, pass block finesse. You love seeing that. Plus, that is a scenario that we'll be able to keep on rolling into the regular season. But did I make the right, as of 9 a.m. in the morning, finesse lineman? Is that what we need? Oh, we're pass protector. So either way, I mean, maybe power would have helped his base overall a little bit, but no harm, no foul there. What is it for the rest of the offensive line, though? I thought it was agile. It's power. Okay. All right. I mean, not the end of the world there, but we know in future reference, I suppose, we will go on the power side of things. And hey, we went through our first preseason game, won 20-7 over the Chargers. You feel pretty good about that one. In a game that everyone kind of got after it. Clayton Tune, touchdown and a pick. Kyler Murray went in for a drive, got his touchdown. We saw some Calvin Austin, rookie McGee, got the ball a little bit. Backup tight end Cam Rollins, 53 yards and a touchdown. Roosevelt Bonds getting involved out of the backfield on the defensive side of the ball. Legendary Keith Taylor putting in a legendary performance, leading the team in tackles. We got a couple TFLs there. Ojulari, Boogie Basham, Braylon Duval, and the rookie Darius Franklin. JL Skinner, the big 6'4", 220 safety machine, gets himself an interception as well as our win streak. You don't count preseason wins, but it still is, the undefeated streak intact. Week 2 of the preseason, a close victory over the Cleveland Browns, 40-37, where we got a lot of things we got to handle here. First up in the shootout, I mean, full kudos DTR. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Kyler Murray did his thing again. 1 drive, 1 touchdown. Clayton Tune, touchdown and a pick. We ran the football pretty well. McGee, the rookie, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. Roosevelt Bonds, 89 yards on only 4 attempts, 22.3 yards per carry, and a touchdown with a 75-yarder to the house. Hollywood Brown led the team in receptions. Nate Hilliard, our dev trait player last year, wide receivers, like bottom of the depth chart, but obviously a long-term developmental player. 44 yards and a touchdown. Rondale Moore also getting on the score sheet. Garrett Williams led the team in terms of tackles. Ojulari with a sack. Morris Rush with a sack. And we got 2 picks for Owen freaking Papo. You love seeing him get back on that horse. Get back into that S-tier form. All pro level form in the preseason. So we hit the ground running week 1. We got some business here. First part, we're going to go with the improving rookie. We're talking about Tyson McLean. I will love to see if we can get another opportunity to put some points towards either pass protecting or pass block power. But Kevin Dotson's going to continue to work with them. Love seeing that. Dotson was a player that we traded for back in the very first season of the Cardinals franchise, and he was awesome for us. We have the wide receiver mentorship. Now, if you know anything about Madden, you know this sometimes is glitched, and it's just a guy that talks to you, and you never get any type of role. We actually got it here. It is Hollywood Brown, a player out of all of our players that has been on the trade block. Will he stay here? Will he not stay here? And you gotta love the fact that a player that still is in that limbo a little bit, I think last year kind of smoothed things over, is still wanting to take on that leadership role. And he wants to talk about Nate Hilliard, the developmental player, and we're going to work on getting open the route running area. 6'5". That is a guy that you want to continue to utilize down the field. He's always going to be a deep threat. He's not a guy that we're going to plan on making like a big slot or anything like that. So let's get him a nice +2 release, +2 deep route running. Appreciate the leadership shown by Hollywood Brown. We also have a training camp standout. This usually tends to be someone on the defensive side of the ball. And it is Owen Popo off of 2 interceptions. We're going to give him a very nice +5 to his base tackling as he continues to be an absolute legend of the series, of the channel. He'll be a player that I'll always remember. And the last piece of business before our final preseason game, we might be able to go undefeated the preseason, is we got some trade offers for John Gaines, our backup center. And this is going to have to be very much some big-time offer. Ooh, a start. I mean, we don't need him. Because our center right now, Shaq Norton, who's good, he's the second most injury-prone player after Roosevelt Bonds. Like, Shaq Norton got hurt, and it's not long-term injuries, but he was a guy that left probably 6 games last year and didn't finish them out due to injury. So there is a lot of value in me having a capable starting center, which we do have here in John Gaines. Only 26 years old, not expensive. And you look at it as like, I don't need safeties. We're good. And the value flipping a backup center for whatever, regardless of the context, a 26-year-old star dev corner, Cam Taylor-Britt, who is a good tackler, schematically, stylistically, what I like to look for on the defensive side of the ball, 77. But the fact of the matter is, he's not sniffing the field unless there is a corner crisis in terms of injuries. We need John Gaines right now, so we're going to politely decline all of these trade offers. I will say, coming back to it, there are more offers. Sky Moore, Mason Cole, Kirkland, a running back, Kenny Moore, the veteran. This was the most surprising. Evan Neal. They're offering me a 25-year-old, 78 star. Now, he's obviously in the last year of his contract. This is a cost-controlled thing. And a 4th-round pick. A 78 star dev tackle. That's real interesting. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why that gets really interesting is we just drafted a nice center. Ted Stockton, 71, normal dev. Like, that guy there could probably slot in and cover our center spot. You have John Gaines here, who, looking at his contract, he's in the final year of his contract. Are we going to re-sign him? I assume Evan Neal's also in the final year of his contract. But Evan Neal would then be, the way I see it is John Gaines, he could fill in right guard. He could fill in left guard if we needed to. We just got so much depth. It's, what are we moving these pieces? It seems like just like a needless trade, even though there's more value there. Let's go. Let's see how many deals. I will say this. If Evan Neal is under contract, that's okay. Never mind. There you go. You're seeing right here why they want to make that trade. Because Evan Neal would be depth. He's not going to start. I'm not going to start Evan Neal over Tyson McLean, who we just drafted. That would be stupid. So it comes down to, like, Evan Neal would be depth, and he's very expensive depth. $9 million cap hit for the next 2 years to just be a backup. Even though the upside's there, even though there's immense value if we're able to flip a normal dev backup center for a 78 star dev tackle at 6'7", 350 pounds. If I didn't draft a tackle in the first round, I would probably honestly make this move and have a little bit of a redemption arc for Evan Neal. But right now, that is just us moving a cheap backup for an expensive backup. And by expensive, I mean costing 9 times the amount. So I think we're good. Is he on the trade block? There's no way my coaching staff went above and beyond to throw him up on the trade block. That's utterly disrespectful, okay? I'm going to have a team meeting. Don't you ever fucking put any of my players on the trade block. I put them on the trade block. And there's not a single guy that I want to get rid of on this team that has value. Not a single fucking guy. Tyquan Thornton, okay? You know what? He can go on the trade block. If someone wants him. If we can get like a mid-round pick for Tyquan Thornton, sure. We'll take him. I want everyone here on the offensive line still rocking and rolling. You go to the defense. We have adequate. You know what? Okay, someone wants Kinlaw. He's been solid back in the day. Remember, that was still he was our first sleeper signing, Javon Kinlaw. If someone wants to look at Jonathan Warmack, Just one of those big-ass nose tackles. That he's very much surplus. Because we got him the same year that we got Alex Jones, the human-animal hybrid. I wouldn't get rid of both of them. And it's probably more likely that we could get a offer for Warmack because he's 4 years younger. But I'd spare a D-tackle if we could get some nice value back in return. You know, I like our linebacking depth. I love our corner depth. You can never have enough corners. Point blank, period. How many times, you know, we look at our top three. Hodges, Marco Wilson, Garrett Williams. Like, you feel so good. You don't need a single freaking guy in that secondary. But how many times would one of those guys, you know, maybe not a long-term injury. We got a bad roll last year with Kenny Hodges with a long-term injury. But how many times you just get those ones that they're not going to return to game? And then we saw C.J. Henderson come on and step up, right? And then we have Francois, who's our punt returner. 6'3", 210. Big profile. Future starter player tag. Like, it is, you know, I think maybe more so than any position. It is imperative to have lots of depth in the secondary. I mean, look, we got Rutledge. We got Skinner. I like both these guys. You know, maybe one of them I could part potentially. Skinner, too, got that interception. But I like that depth. And Skinner's also a guy that I'm flirting with the idea of moving in the linebacker. So we'll put those guys that we just did on the trade block, see what happens. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be pressed into, you know, trading away a guy for the sake of trading him away. But we say all that by still having to flip 7 players. Ideally, we can get 7 on the practice squad. We're getting rid of Chris Cruz. We have Jason McGraw. Like, there's some of these. I mean, I don't want to get rid of everyone. You got Reggie Logan, great speed. Throw him on the practice squad. Mike Boyle, practice squad. Ty Nixon, once upon a time, had a dev trait. Stash him on the practice squad. Morris Rush, practice squad. Ooh, okay. We got Keitrell Clark. We'll get rid of him. Luckily, we didn't have to get to a single tough decision on that one. So that is always a blessing in disguise. Let's talk about a proven rookie. This is, again, Tyson McLean at that left tackle spot. Again, I don't know if we are locked in to a, you know, the specific, like, is he just going to get finesse every single time? But Kevin Dodson's talking about Tyson McLean, who's improving steadily, and we will take a very nice 4,500 XP boost, which should give him at least one spot here of upgradable points. And with that, yeah, we did. Oh, man, this is a tough one. Do we just keep pumping the points into power, or do we make the pivot right now and go into... See, the thing is, though, is like if you keep going into power, you're going to also slowly bring up pass protector, at least enough that it will become your second archetype. And then I think we can spend power enough to get that close. Get pass protector or not, 6 points off our scheme fit. You know what? It doesn't really matter, honestly, at the end of the day, to have scheme fits. I think that's maybe just a little bit of my OCD roster building. But I think we'll go power just because more often than not you will get, you know, certain upgrades that look like pass block power, strength and awareness. All those are going to bump up pass protector. See, look, we already have it at number 2. But maybe you know, I'll go between. 1 week we'll go to power. Next point we'll put in pass protector and just keep alternating like that. Also, a big point here for Roosevelt Bonds, who is officially a 90 overall X Factor running back, who just got +1 strength, break tackle, ball carrier vision, and awareness. The reigning defending running back of the year, ready to dominate and hopefully stay healthy here as we continue our undefeated season. Year 4 of the Cardinals franchise. We'll say after the cut, surprisingly, trying to fill out our practice squad, there's a 77 safety here. Devin Dotson. Almost like he's going to get poached probably immediately. Doesn't have like crazy stat. I will say 85 hit power, 83 pursuit, 76 tackle. He's a little bit bigger, man. That guy, you know, he's very much in the, you know, linebacker. Could be a linebacker. We'll sign him to the practice squad. Hopefully we can keep him. That'd be a fun, cheap re-signing if he manages to stay on our practice squad all year. There's just no chance. He's going to get signed away probably week 1. So looking at our roster now, after the cuts, very modest changes. Obviously, on the offensive line, we're going to go with Tyson McLean over Jake Witt, even though there's a slight rating discrepancy. You're going with the first-round pick. The biggest change, offensively, even though I do think we're going to see some McGee maybe sprinkle in more than what you may expect. You just got to get this guy on the field. He's an absolute monster, especially with the injuries to Roosevelt Bonds. I think, like looking at last year when Roosevelt Bonds went down to injury, we gave a lot of, like, it would just 100% all the carries would go to Calvin Austin. I think if Roosevelt Bonds, just because he's been injury prone, and it is a talking point, if he goes down, I think we split the carries between Calvin Austin and Alex McGee. Calvin Austin is still our third down back, still going to be a receiving weapon, still will get his carries, but instead of like if Roosevelt Bonds goes down in the first quarter, knock on wood, but if he goes down in the first quarter and we have 20 carries for the remainder of the game, before all 20 of those would go to Calvin Austin. Now I'm thinking like, 12 carries Calvin Austin, 8 to McGee. You just got to find a way to get involved. But honestly, the biggest change on the offensive side of the ball, we're keeping James Conner because he's a glue guy. But the fact of the matter is for James Conner, the run blocking, the pass blocking is not particularly great. 49 impact block, 52 lead block, 53 run block, 66 pass block's not brutal. But then you look at the powers, all that stuff's in the 40s. So yeah, he's a weapon. He's a glue guy. And this is something that I saw last year. I just got to rip the Band-Aid off. Cam Rollins is our backup tight end. He's a blocking schematic. When you look at the actual stats, 72 run block, right? We got 81 impact block, 71 pass, 75 lead, 74. It's just, he's clearly a fullback. He needs to be out there. He needs to be lead blocking. I think you keep James Conner as a glue guy. Obviously, the running back strike a couple years ago. You keep that there. That's a hot button issue. But Rollins needs to be our lead blocker. We're gonna have an even more dominant run game with him out there. On the defensive side of the ball, exact same lineup, running it back. The only real thing that we have is we were able to get Christian Harris. Very affordable, but still a very good player that, may or may not need to find a way to go. I mean, just look at that archetype. It's all over the place. 78 speed rusher, but then he's also 76 pass coverage. So it's like he can kind of do everything. He's a hybrid. He's a true hybrid player. So he's the top linebacker depth for every single position. We're going to see him on the field quite a bit. That's really the only issue we have on the defensive side of the ball is like, when do we get him on the field? Because he's probably too good just to ride the bench all year, but he's not better than Zaven Collins, Owen Papo, and Quentin Silas. Looking at the specialists, well, we're going to have Calvin Austin, third down back, Roosevelt Bonds, McGee there for power, Rondale Moore in the slot, Garrett Williams in the slot, Ojulari, Duval, Milton Williams, and Boogie Basham. I will say something that was interesting is Milton Williams, it's not interesting, I knew about it, he's actually an 88 overall defensive end. He's a 1 point higher defensive end than he is a defensive tackle. Something to think about. I'm just throwing it out there. I was very interested and surprised to see that technically defensive tackle 1 is not his strongest position. But Boogie Basham, very underrated. Don't really want to upset the balance of things on the defensive line. Yeah, you can get the human-animal hybrid in there. Maybe a little, Duval's a pass rusher. You could have your pass rusher, run defender, and then look at Milton Williams out there. You know what? Just out of curiosity, I wonder what we can get from Boogie Basham. Just because he's at 28, he's 28 years old, so probably getting pretty close to his ceiling. If the right offer came in, maybe that would give us better balance on that defensive line. Because you have Duval the pass. Right now we have pass rusher. I don't have any issues with our run defense, but if it does rear up its ugly head, it's probably the fact that we don't have a D tackle that's over 290 pounds. We got a 340-pound human-animal hybrid that's just itching to get on the field. And, we bring him in on rundowns. But, if we get good, I'll just say this. If we can get someone to overpay for Boogie Basham, maybe we'll take that offer, kick Milton Williams at the D end where he's a point better. He's an 88, and then we have more balance in the interior, more complementary football in the interior. But all that being said, it is time to shift all of our focus to the home opener. We got the camp standout continuing for Tyson McLean. I actually don't know what this even looks like. Oh, it's a different one. This is Owen Papo. So it's no longer Tyson McLean, I suppose. Okay. Oh, it's because we get the tackle boost. So get 2+ combined sacks for TFLs with Papo. TFLs are pretty doable. I'm guessing a team like the Niners that likes to run the football. And we continue his breakout. And they say breakout. And we have breakout and Papo in the same phrase. You get a little giddy because he's on that start, Evan. He deserves to be an X Factor. I will take Superstar. But it's opening day. Trying to remain undefeated. I think it's the defense, man. It always comes down to the defense. We beat the Jets. We won the Super Bowl because we had the MVP in B.J. Ojulari, and the defense set the tone. So we're going to disrupt the pass. Ojulari is going to absolutely manhandle whatever offensive lineman is in front of him. We're going to sack Brock Purdy 7 times. We're going to start this season with a win. We're going to continue the undefeated. So my challenge. The reason why we were running this back is because I want to see who the fuck can beat us. Who can fucking beat the juggernaut? All right? As we choose our draft class, we got auto-generated rookies here. Let's get an idea of the top 10. Got some tackles. Troy McKnight. Got a guard. A guard is the number 2 player in the nation. A top 5 projected guard. Wow. You got Roy Griffin, pass rusher. Brett Ridley at corner out of Colorado State, 6'1". You got Craig Generals at tackle. Isaiah Collins, the quarterback class. Got a couple first rounders. Hunter Price, A&M. Spencer Cartwright, NC State. Nazir Dyson out of Cincinnati, 6'4", 230. Ooh, sounds a little interesting. Couple first round running backs. I mean, again, we can't even get giddy for any of these players because they're not better. They're not going to start on my team. I guess, we could get younger at wide receiver. Hollywood Brown's going to be a year older. So looking at some of these guys here in the first round, Monty Drayton, Tyron Luckett, Isaiah Collins out of Central Florida. Maybe some names to kind of pay attention to. But I'm very shocked. I have top 5. What do we got? Quentin Nelson over here? Quentin Nelson 2.0. We got some centers. Got some guys here across the O-line. Defensively, Demarius Demps out of LSU. That's a pretty badass name. That sounds like a guy that's going to have a dev trait. Tell you that. Shamir Jones, Kentucky. Jaleel Sutherland out of Kansas. Manny Man. You already know if we had to put someone on our... I don't care that he has D Finespo, okay? Manny Man. Wish death upon me. Oh. I mean, that'd get claimed all the time. That is a badass name. First team all name. I will throw my first favorite on Manny Man. Chuck Russell, Dorian Corbett, Nick Watson, Clemson. I will say also, Vaughn Tyson, that's also a pretty badass name out of Florida. I will say, you got to give credit. Last year, one of my biggest gripes with Madden Franchise Mode was all these unrealistic first-round schools. They seem to have, buffed and nerfed and tuned that to get to a good spot. We're like, hey, look, it's actually players from big-time schools. Jeremiah Ramsey there at Stanford. No first-round linebackers. Landry Hancock at a Texas, 6'6", 260 edge rusher. So we're getting a lot of prototypical height, weight, speed type pass rushers. Randy Bostic out of Cincinnati. Daniel Franklin out of Louisville. Shaq Irving, Washington State. We got a free safety, a couple first. Whoa. 7 first. I mean, it's early. 7 first-round safeties. Anthony Favors out of Oregon, 6'2", 205. Hopkins, USC. Ricky McBath out of Notre Dame. That's a weird build. 5'9", 225. Built like a bowling ball. Finch, Mason, strong safety. Nick Rudolph, Ohio State. All right, so good safety class. But let's be honest. All eyes are on Manny Man. How are we going to beat the San Francisco 49ers? Well, we already started things with stifling defense. We're going to stop the inside run, make them have to throw to beat us. How do we attack their defense? Well, you look at their stats from apparently last year. Let's work on throwing it short. This is definitely a game you want to get in the rhythm. Here are our focus players right now. We got McGee, McLean, Archibald, Papo, Garrett Williams, and Braylon Duval. Feel pretty good about that. These guys definitely, you want McLean at tackle to get the extra XP. You want him to hit the ground running. McGee's backup guy, depth guy. So when you have that, let him get the extra work, extra reps. I am always a little scared giving starters those extra reps, but honestly hasn't reared its ugly head up in terms of injuries too much. James Conner, backup fullback. He's old now, so he got an injury there. That sucks. But it looks like outside of our backup fullback, we're going to be full strength at home, raising the banner. Super Bowl champs. It's a big one here against the Niners. 87 overall, 88 overall. Should be a classic. But to roll it over. Absolutely to roll it over. Undefeated season starts again here week 1. We are looking for 21-0. I just want to do a quick scouting report of the Niners again because we're getting in here to the franchise, so rosters are going to be probably a lot different than what you assume and expect. Brock Purdy, 84 star dev, so he's lost his superstar dev, which I don't want to sound like a Brock Purdy hater, which I kind of am, but I'm also kind of not. I don't really care that much. But let's be honest, shouldn't be a superstar. Star's fair. That's a fair rating for him to be, and he got paid. So that's probably why this Niners roster is not necessarily S tier. You're starting to see some regression to Chris McCaffrey. Does still have his X factor there. They got a really nice RB2 with some speed behind him, and Moses Mullins, great name. Use checks there. They got Ayuk 91, Debo 90. Both star dev. No superstar. So these guys have been regressing slowly. No superstar on Kittle at 32. I mean, that's just likely an age regression. Offensive line, you got Mike Taylor, 70, 76, 86, 80. Pretty strong offensive line across the board. On the defense, you got Matthew Moore, who's their top pick last year, 80. You got Nick Bosa, 99, X Factor at 28 years old. So still one of the best premier pass rushers in the NFL. Unfortunately for him, he is no B.J. Ojulari. D-tackle spot's not the best, so maybe we can run at them there a little bit. Linebacking core still led Fred Warner. Lost his X Factor, but still a 99 superstar at a BYU. You got the... that is a flow right there. Dre Greenlaw, 90 superstar. Old, Big Dom's son. He's still playing pretty well. They got Charvarius Ward, 89 superstar. Maynard, 81. 80 there for Domador Lenore. They made the trade to get Lewis Sign over from the Vikings. Hufanga, 93 superstar. So, I mean, it's still a good roster, but I don't think they're on our level anymore. We've surpassed them. Come on. You know something they need to add banner hosting ceremonies here. The guys are ready to go. Season opener. Niners, Cardinals. I think we got to beat them by 20. 3 scores minimum. And you know who wants to do that? The co-MVPs of the league last year. Kyler Murray, number 1, and B.J. Ojulari. Here we go. Grant Delpit, big time TFL on Christian McCaffrey. Ooh, that's not, running back out of all those positions. Father Time seems to be the most punishing to running backs. And when you start losing a step as a running back, I don't care if you're as elite and as awesome as Christian McCaffrey is. Oh, they go screen pass to Ayuk. See, look, they can't use McCaffrey for these things anymore. He's getting up there in age. You got to conserve him a little bit. That was a good play call, though. Oh, that's a hold. Come on. You know what? We are struggling to stop. It's literally what I just said. With Milton Williams and Duval, undersized D tackles. This is I'm getting Honey Hunters vibes. If you want to beat us, we are undersized in the middle. Run even though that was our focus game plan. That is how you can, get our, and plus we got the new defensive coordinator. A lot of things are showing up here on the first drive, which again, Boogie Basham now on the trade block. If the right offer comes in, I think there's a chance that we maintain our pass rush and get a lot better run defense. But it has to be the right offer. See if we can bend, don't break here. Let's sit back. We'll go cover 6. Going to be Papo here. I think they're going to try to get in, obviously, the left-hand side. A Debo, 19. Ayuk, 11. We're going to go on Debo. Look at that. Oh, come on. Get the tackles there. That's a drop. It's on the 7. So I'm going to guess they're going to count their blessings and take the 3, which they do. Bend, don't break. It is back, reigning, defending Super Bowl undefeated champions. I like to run the football. We can run the football too. First up, bombs for 4 yards. Then we bring in the speedster, Calvin Austin. 12 on the, And then you got McGee now. 3-headed monster back there. I don't hate it. All right, we got massacred. Nick Bosa off the edge. That was a bad rep by Paris Johnson. 3rd and 9. Don't want to stall out here. We got Jake Witt out there. Really? What a throw. Oh, come on! Wake up! But I'm sick and tired of them just run the football for 4 yards. We're going to go 0 blitz and see if that can wake our fucking defense up here. Look at that. Take the edge. Take the edge. Outstanding. 3rd and 4. Let's get off the field. Let's not let the Niners start taking off here with some momentum. This is where Ojulari needs to heat up. And they go with the instant throw to Debo. And unlike my 99 X Factor tight end, he holds on. And on top of that, heaven forbid they hit a big play. They don't have a big play in their offense. So they're just nickel and diamond, chewing the clock up. Very annoying. This just... I mean, you know what you get when you get the Niners. We'll go 3rd and 5 here. See if we can bend, don't break. Hold them to 2 field goals. And then again, hopefully our X factors don't drop easy completions. Oh, they go for the check down across the middle field because, of course, that's all. Look, 10 for 12, 82 yards. Holy fuck. It's like when you're like playing with a punter at quarterback. All right, already hitting us with an audible. Come on. This is your Ojolite. Fuck the audibles. This is where you're like, you can't audible and stop me. But he also hasn't even got close to sniffing on the quarterback right now, which has been an issue because the tackle he's going up against is solid. He's not a turnstile, but he's also, you know, we saw what Nick Bosa did to my almost 90 tackle, right? Instantly just swim move in our quarterback's lap. We're going up against an 80 tackle. Let's go! It was inevitable. First sack of the season. Get that guitar solo. That might have even pushed him out of field goal range. It's a long one. They got Moody, who's solid. All right, well, they do pussy offense stuff. Let's go and do our own pussy offense. Does Fred Warner just have an ability that makes drops happen out of thin air? Jesus Christ, how do I get that out of Owen Papo? This is embarrassing. Holy fuck, fellas. Like, this is one of those ones, it's a banner-raising day. I wouldn't be, if the fans are already going into halftime, getting some beers. Yeah, that's all you need! That's a mentor right now. He's a mentor on top of being one of the best deep threats in the league. Out of nothing. Offense was pathetic. It only takes one. Outside of Charvarius Ward, not a great secondary. Able to pick on the matchups. That's all you need. And hopefully that wakes the offense up. Oh, okay. No fucking way. There is no fucking way Christian McCaffrey is picking up my X Factor enabled D tackle and stonewalling him. 3rd and 10. What a kind of play is a good run? May obviously make you think it's a run and clearly not be a run. There goes Duval. And he just... What's going on, buddy? Maybe I take that back from CMC. Duval had Brock Purdy in his sights. And luckily, this kicker sucks ass. I couldn't believe that. Light him up! See if we can get something going here. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! Let's go! That's what happens when you get an 87 X superstar. Not an X, soon-to-be X Factor. But his best things are speed and agility. Breaking ankles, snatching souls. And we have 2 completions for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm not gonna lie, I like the audible hitter Rondale more. Unless that corner jumps over. That should be a big chunk play here. Get us to field goal range. I still like the process, I guess. Shit throw. Again, Kyler Murray won the MVP, but it was unofficial. All right, they go for the field goal, they make it. And you know what? Just a very piss-poor first half from the Arizona Cardinals. Let's count as a couple splash plays. The Super Bowl hangover is real. Another first down run. Roosevelt Bonds taking Hufanga for a ride. Oh, look at that blocking done on the outside. Archibald Speedster does the dirty work, too. Play action, huh? I'm not going to be honest. I haven't seen that play called once last year, and we want to go to it now? I think we're getting a little too cute here. Saves that a little bit. That should have been a loss. Now it is 3rd and 2. Ooh, mesh. This is a money... Haven't called House's number after the drop. Maybe this is a confidence booster right here. But it only works. Oh, hold on to it. I was going to say, it only works if you block Bosa. Let's go, man. Needed that. Get House involved. Get his morale up. And I mean, with 99 pass rusher in his face, that's a hell of a ball from Kyler Murray, especially bouncing back after an ugly pick on the last drive. Oh, what the fuck? Come on, man. Hell of a pick. Jumping, diving, interception. It's been a money play for us too, man. Floating, using the size mismatch. Usually that first DB can't make an athletic play on the ball like that. Fuck. Man, passing offense has been Garbo. Screen. Oh, come on, man. You know the Niners aren't going to throw the ball more than 10 yards downfield, for fuck's sakes. Come on. Oh, here comes an audible of some sort. I mean, you know, it was only a matter of time till us playing like bullshit would come back to bite us in the ass. Defenses hold them to field goals. They get their first touchdown, and we got a game here in the 4th quarter. Scary having to throw the football in this game because it's been very much big play or a turnover. No in between. 3rd and 9. Got him. Got him. I would go for it. But I can't audible out of a coach wanting to go for it on 4th down. I would kick the field goal. Kick the field goal, go up 2 scores. That's why my coach is the best in the league. I was about to say, do we just run the clock out? Or because it's the Niners, do we run the score up? That's what the guys wanted right there. I'm sure there's going to be an awkward handshake at the end between the coaches, but it's a rivalry game, man. At home, we played bad. You want as much momentum as you can going into next week. Hey, house call. It's a fast fucking tackle right there. Hey, that's how you go, though. Get Hodges on the board. But you know we're going to try to run this up. After the interception, we got McGee in, the rookie. Come on, kid. Oh, come on, kid. It means more. Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to get it. God damn it. Tried our best to run it up against these bastards. But the undefeated streak remains officially 21-0. And starting the defending of our championship tour. Passing offense, a little worried. Pass rush. I do think a lot of this was the Niners are really good. Not a lot of teams that are going to be as much talent as San Francisco has. But Kyler Murray needs to be better. The 2 picks, uncharacteristic. Yes, is this my first game of playing with the Cardinals in like 2 weeks? Yes. So maybe there's some cobwebs on user error type deal. But still, not a lot of confidence in the passing game. But when we did hit, it was obviously pretty badass. Rushing offense, 131 yards and a touchdown for Roosevelt Bonds. He was just in his X factor, so you got to kind of ride him. 25 for McGee, 39 for Calvin Austin. So that's, you know, pretty good numbers there across the board. Receiving, Marcus House did eventually get his touchdown, but had a brutal drop, man. Like, again, just everyone having that little bit of Super Bowl hangover, if you will. But the shot play, Archibald, 55 yards and a tutty, 75-yard bomb, a tone setter for Hollywood Brown. And on the defensive side, we got Papa going. But unfortunately, I don't think, even though he led the team in tackles, that is going to help his breakout scenario. A TFL and a sack from Ojulari, but quiet game from a pass rush that was literally a juggernaut last year. Bunch of TFLs. We got the pick from Kenny Hodges, last year's reigning, defending interception champion. And hey, we won. That's all that matters. Hey, I'll take that out of our first game, an upgrade for both of our starting tackles. And you know what? Let's go and scheme fit for both of them. And we get the 1-point upgrade for Paris Johnson, 2 awareness, 2 pass block finesse. And we'll go pass protect here for McLean. Ah, damn it. Oh. Followed from the game, camp standout. Did not. I mean, he led the team in tackles. I felt pretty good about Papo's performance, but in the eyes of our coach for him taking this game to the next level, unfortunately, we did not hit that. But we did win the game, which we should get some sort of boost to start the season off undefeated over the Niners. Talked about our defense. Defense did a great job. That's what you got, man. The goddamn GOAT, Ojulari. I need to reach out to Ojulari at this point, IRL, and say, dude, congrats. I'll take that 4,500 XP for the DBs. Hell yeah. Ooh, that feels pretty good. Those guys love that XP. And to wrap up week 1 and this episode, well, our practice squad, the 77 safety lasted a week, which was kind of expected. We have 84 staff points that we can, I don't know what's the best way it is to invest this year. XP for the DNs, my best DN is already 99. So we can look. Actually, you know what? We'll get the awareness here for Kyler. See if we can get his head out of his ass, because that wasn't a good first week. That actually might, plus 3 awareness is probably going to be a nice little overall point upgrade. Let's fully max out our tackles there, and we got 30 points remaining. Hey, let's juice up the O-line. Give them some Mexican supplements there. Show the big hog mollies up front a little bit of love. And what we can finish up with is a trade offer has been sent in for Boogie Basham. Player that, again, has to be wowing. I have to go, holy shit, that is a deal that I want. We got Jeremiah Benedict from the Texans in a 4th and 7. Don't want Davenport. Don't need Frymouth. Hamlin. Chester Green, huh? I don't want Claypool back. Franklin Myers, too much of a veteran. A.J. Dillon. Got quite the market. Grady Jarrett. Whoa. Should I have 3 superstar tight ends? That'd be cool. 3 superstar tight ends, huh? All right, I want to go just really quickly while we're here. I want to go see the 2 players I'm not too sure about. Okay, let's go Chester Green on Green Bay. Hamlin on the Saints. Benedict. I don't even know Benedict. So let's go look at Hamlin on the Saints and Green on the Packers. Just out of curiosity, what are we dealing with here? All right, so Green on the Packers, 2nd-year player. So we get a lot of cost-controlled linebacker play. Not as athletic as we like to look for a linebacker. Solid, 82 pursuit, 82 hit power, block shit's good. Smart player, but not wowed. Taking a look at the wide receiver for the Saints. We get 1 year less of the contract. What is this build? 6'2", Central Florida, 91 speed, 86 catching, 90 catching traffic, 90 spec, 90 jumping, 92 change. It's impressive. I'm interested here. This is at least enough for me to poll the room. This guy's just buried on the depth chart. Role player numbers for sure. Where would a 79 star dev wide receiver kind of fit into our wide receiver room would be a question. And, he'd be wide receiver 4. But maybe a slight, as Hollywood Brown regresses at 29 to 30. Because I just think a conversation needs to be had. Eventually, Hollywood Brown could become a cap casualty because of his age, because of the young dogs behind him. And when you look at our wide receiver room, 5'9", 180, 5'10", 186, 5'7", 180. Yeah, we got developmental, more so, 6'5", 226 way down there. And the reality is we need our big go-to target. It's 6'4", 260 Marcus House. But you gotta, on top of, is this guy going to be peaking when it's time we're moving on from Hollywood Brown? That is a style of wide receiver that we just don't have right now on the roster. So I'll open up to you guys. What do you guys think? You think it's just a needless move, a move for the sake of making a move, even though understanding that, Milton Williams, we now go from an 87 D tackle to an 88 defensive end, and then we'd be able to have a 340-pounder out there, run stuffer, with that 97 strength. But also put some respect on Boogie Bash and what he's done as the co-star of our pass rush since he's been here. He didn't play a lot there, but 15 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, 15 TFLs, 8.5 sacks. He's also 28. So, I don't know. Interesting trade offer. What do you guys think? I think personally, at least to sift through the weeds there, if we do trade him, that Saints wide receiver is probably the guy we would want and makes the most sense for our squad. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. When we come back, we'll probably do a doubleheader week 2 against Commanders, week 3 back in the division on the road at Seattle. But I hope you guys are enjoying the Cardinals back in the fold here. The plan is to kind of close out the week. We're definitely going to have another episode of Honey Hunters. Definitely going to have another rebuild in light of some of these big free agency moves. So stay tuned to the channel. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be forget to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's your boy C4. Peace. I love you. Have a good one.